Hey guys, and welcome to yet another glorious Immortal Empires Early Access Showdown featuring myself up against the legendary Darv Plays, a fantastic multiplayer YouTuber in his own right. Highly recommend checking out his channel. He's also covering a lot of Immortal Empire goodiness. I'm going to be playing at the forces of Kislev, taking on the Tomb King. Should be a good fun scrap, showcasing a unit which I think is an absolute must pick for Kislev in this matchup. Now, for this first week of Early Access, I'm going to be dropping 2 videos a day. I believe this will be video number 2 of the day, maybe 1, but either way, make sure to subscribe and check out my homepage to catch as much Immortal Empires action as physically possible. Without further ado, let's get this one underway. So in the front line, we've gone at relatively basic armored kossars, are going to be making up the majority of our battle line, backed up by a couple of the more cheaper units. So kossars, basic archers here in a nice, decent defensive formation. And in the central pocket, I actually have the half blades here, so the Regiment of Renowned Tsar Guard, and they do fire damage, so they're going to be a perfect counter to Regiment of Renowned Tomb Guard, which is something that I have got so used to expecting in my Warhammer 2 days. I thought they'd be quite a nice inclusion. Hidden in the trees, we do have a winged lancers, looks like 2 units over on the left-hand side, and I believe we have 1 holding down the right-hand flank. We do have then the most important unit in this entire roster to take down Tomb Kings, and that is going to be Little Grom. Without Little Grom, you are sitting ducks to the might of both ushabti, Bone Giants, Casket of Souls. All the artillery of the Tomb Kings can abuse Kislev pretty badly. However, Little Grom comfortably counters them all. He's got enough mobility on him to juke shots from Bone Giants, and he can kill ushabti models per shot, which is certainly rather tasty. Leading the battle charge alongside Little Grom, we do have a bit of a love kind of back and forth relationship between a Frost Maiden of Ice, who's going to be slowing down the enemy, allowing Boris to capture and kill them. She's kind of Heart of Winter as well as Ice Maiden's Kiss, and then we have Boris coming in with all the decent goodies, not quite all his abilities, but all the good ones, to the usual Fury of Ursun, which of course the Terror's not going to be too useful here, but the added base weapon damage will certainly be tasty. Stand your ground, Shard Blade, as well as his armor of course. Opposing us is the mighty Tomb King forces, so we have a Casket of Souls, we have a load of Skeleton Warriors making up the majority of this position. Some Skeleton Archers are just behind them, and then we have, it does look like some Tomb Guard Halberds, so they should be a pretty interesting inclusion to see how they perform. We have a Glorious Leech Priest of Light Magic, we have a Necrotect, we also have a load of HP taken off a Casket of Soul. You can see how much damage Little Grom does there. We've got a nice cavalry contingent of horsemen, we have some of the sneaky snakes, and the High Queen Khalida herself, but this is what Little Grom is a expert at doing. Look, that's one shot from Grom onto the casket, doing a massive damage, nearly down to about half HP. That's going to force the casket to hide behind the trees and waste a considerable amount of its time. And while this is happening, we can also open up shots and try to focus down the Tomb Scorpion. Now, up against Darv Plays here, he's a very talented player, so he's going to be bouncing back and forth with his Tomb Scorpion, doing some good micromanagement, which is what you come to expect when you face someone like Darv. He's checked his advance a little bit as he moves through the trees and once again tries to save his Casket of Souls and get it into a bit of a better position. But I have Little Grom, so I'm not in a hurry to go anywhere. Going to be lacing shots down range. We do some okay damage to Skeleton Warriors. That was aimed, unfortunately, at the Tomb Scorpion, but we did miss due to the high ground there, so Darv clearly has been watching Kenobi. It looks like the horsemen are weaving through the trees. I'm getting ready to spring my trap, so I have Glorious Winged Lancers waiting for this fight. I'm also going to be getting over my 3rd unit just in case, and we can also move Boris over here as well as the Ice Witch to take on the sheer amount of cavalry. Now, the Casket of Souls is opening up fire, getting a little bit of juicy revenge on us. Little Grom is picking apart the Tomb Scorpion rather nicely. And on the left-hand side, we do spring our trap, so Winged Lancers come crashing from the undergrowth, straight hammering into the enemy horsemen. But this is going to be a real shaky fight, as there is, of course, sneaky snakes nearby, so Boris is on a arrive, and I'm going to attempt to pull back a little bit. I do want this fight. I want to pull my opponent back within range of the pistols and the other Winged Lancer support. Boris is all about the smoke. He wants it all, charging directly into the knights as well as the High Queen Khalida. We're going to be popping Fury of Ursun, stand your ground, but also the Shard Blade, just sapping the strength of our opponents, and we have even more Winged Lancers coming in from the flank. There's a load of buffs going down on both sides. We have Bronus Time Warp is going to be catching the knights here, although the poor little horsemen, unfortunately, are getting fended away from their magical prowess by the awesome winged lancers. Likewise, we have armored kossars, as well as the light kossars, firing continuously in. And look how badly that traded for the knights, despite the brightness time warp there. Boris is a world beater, leading his men from the front line like a true son of Kislev, driving back the High Queen. And this has been a relatively successful trade on the far side, but it was pretty costly at the same time. Now, the front line's getting ready to engage, and you can hear the glorious rapture of gunfire just popping off constantly as bows are also added to the volleys. We're doing some decent damage to the enemy. Little Grom has got that Tomb Scorpion down to half HP, which is really nice for us. And the front line is about to crash together. Looks like we're going to be coming in with a Heart of Winter, just doing really nice damage to the skeleton horseman. I do think it wasn't overcast, it seems. You should normally overcast Heart of Winter as a rule of thumb. And maybe I didn't have enough Winds of Magic, so Skeleton Horseman going down here is going to help take away a lot of my opponent's mobility, and now Boris is on arrival once again, going to be coming back to try to deal with the Tomb Scorpion. As far as the front line's concerned, it is a hotly contested affair, though I do think my armored kossars are going to be having the better of the engagements as we just clatter our swords against bone and shield. And if we fight, though, with the Heart of Kislev, I'm sure we'll be fine. Zargard take a bit of damage there, but I'm moving forward to try to fend off these pesky skeleton warriors who were starting to put a bit of pressure onto Little Grom and my back line. Now, Boris is having just the greatest day. It's Boris's birthday today, for those who didn't know, so please in the comment section, everyone say happy birthday to Boris, because he is just blessed with so many presents. He's fought Khalida, he's fought snakes, he's now fighting Tomb Scorpions, and he is butchering the large construction, and down it goes. Zargard I'm expecting to be very powerful, so my opponent is focused firing them down into the flank. Lovely bit of play there from the Tomb King player, but we do have Kossars focusing them down. I'm actually using 2 units just to focus one at a time, and the front line is going really well for our armored troops. Tomb Kings simply don't have the skill to match them. We have Winged Lancers surrounding a Leech Priest of Light Magic. There are going to be some knights on arrival, but in the distance, I had a unit of Winged Lancers were able to actually push through, and I'm going to be trying to shut down the Casket of Souls, which has been doing some damage. It's also been hitting the trees a little bit, but it's worthwhile keeping it alive and away from Little Grom. But now you can see the Winged Lancers in the face of skulls and danger. They stand and fight. We should be able to drag down that Casket, though it will take a significant amount of time. Right-hand flank was eventually lost for us, although Little Grom has a thing or two to say about that, popping some shots into the knights, doing some big damage. He does need to fall back, though. We have a summon of ushabti chasing me away. Now, Bantai is in our favor. We have a nice little firing position in here as well, launching shots at downrange, mainly focusing on the enemy halberds at this point, because they're going to be the big problem for Boris. And the front line, armored kossars are victorious wherever they stand, and stand they do, not giving any ground here to the skeleton warriors, pistoling them in the face. I love the armored kossar animations where they just whip out a gun in point blank range and just start unloading hell upon the enemy. Now, Zargard doing a decent job. We've butchered one unit of skeleton warriors. Need to get them engaged as quickly as possible with the Tomb Guard here, who are getting their pistol whipped in the back by the armored kossars. We also have some of the bowmen attempting to launch shots in. We do clear up the front line, opening up a position for our armored kossars to get nice and aggressive onto the enemy. Now, my opponent is trying to get away back in this game. How do you do that? How do you get back into the game when everything's going poorly for you? You assassinated the enemy general, and that's just what he's going to be attempting to do. So the High Queen Khalida has come in, trying to take out Boris. She's poisoned him, but Fury of Ursun goes down, as well as the Shard Blade, and we're trading so effectively. Little Grom has managed to shrug off at the ushabti summon and get back into the fight. It looks like the Frost Maiden is even hopping into combat as well, getting a little bit down and dirty. My opponent is going to be a little bit distracted, just trying to chase Little Grom off, but because of the Frostbite from Boris, he should be able to keep pace with them and drag down the fell constructs. Front line is just going fantastic, despite the Necrotect as well as the Priest trying to get involved in the action with another bonus Time Warp going down on the Tomb Guard. The Zargard is simply too tanky in the middle, and we do have Winged Lancers moving back to shut down the archers. It looks like we were able to take down the Casket of Souls. A lovely value there from that beat-up unit. You're always going to be looking for those good opportunities of beat-up units which are mobile to abuse the enemy weaker units themselves and still get a decent amount of work done. Now, Little Grom is being chased away. I don't mind this too much, though, at the moment. As long as I can keep the snakes and Khalida separate, Boris can easily take them both down on their own. Together, it's going to be a bit more of a tougher fight. He is getting down to about half HP at the moment, but Little Grom comes through. Boris looked after him, so Little Grom shall look after Boris, slaying like 3 or 4 models in one shot there. I love that shot from Little Grom. He is so pivotal in this matchup and a fantastic unit all round. And yeah, little Grom is truly an MVP today, though it must be said. Boris has put in an absolute shift, and Balance Fighter is getting really close to army losses. We've won the main fight. We've taken out the enemy rear troops with Wing Lancers on the arrival coming back now, and Boris is an unstoppable bear-frothing god of madness, just screaming battle cries in the name of Ursun. The great bear shall have its supper tonight, and tonight it wants to eat snakes. The knights trying their little hardest here. They are, of course, being frostbitten. Boris has got really full of himself right now. He's going on a bloodthirsty rampage, but I don't mind as long as he's killing the enemies of Kislev. He can basically do whatever he wants at this point. Little Grom is still being hounded and harassed. I'm desperately trying to save it at all costs. It probably doesn't matter at this point if he lives or dies, but to me he does. You know, he's not expendable to me. And now, of course, I'll be moving in to try to deal with the High Queen herself, as well as launching a few shots here and there. But the crumbling does kick in, and the mighty force of Kislev are victorious. Very well played to Darv. You're probably going to see me a decent amount on his channel as well. We've had some really awesome games, some close games, some games showcasing good stuff where it's a bit more one-sided as well. But that's kind of how Mortal Empires has been, honestly. We've been trying a lot of stuff that you'd think works and really doesn't, or something you think won't work, and it is incredible. It's been a really fun time just playing with a really awesome group of people, and getting to experience this game. And hopefully, yeah, I'm trying to do 2 videos a day just so I can give you guys as much as possible. YouTube tends to not like that. It doesn't like pushing 2 videos, so make sure to subscribe to try to catch them, or just check out my actual homepage where you'll see, you know, where I've got a load of content coming out. If you guys enjoy this one as well, make sure to leave a big, fat, juicy thumbs up. It really helps out the channel quite a bit. And comment down below what you'd like to see in the future. I am working several videos ahead, so it might take me a while to get to your wishes and dreams. I will definitely try my best. Or leave a comment on what was your favorite moment of the battle. There's a load of links down below as well to Twitch, Patreon, and Discord. Twitch is where I do occasional extra streams. Discord is where you can submit replays to be cast on the channel, though at the moment I am mainly just doing Immortal Empires content. And yeah, you can also, you know, just chill out. I think got like 900 people in there, so it's a really good community to find games and get hyped for Immortal Empires. Until next time, guys, peace, peace. And as always, stay awesome.